I always like to be pushing myself to be uncomfortable, to doing something in life that's making me uncomfortable, whether that's in my career, whether that's in the gym, whether that's, socially. I think it's important to always feel a little uncomfortable in some areas of your life. Your body is like art. Like, you get to shape it and make it whatever you want through what you put into it, how you treat it, how you move it, and you get to create something. Women are just so insecure about their weight or like their body that way, and my insecurities are just different. It's not just about who has the best, muscles, who has the best delts or whatever. It's the whole package. Diet is 100% more important than the gym.
So you're not like a materialistic girl?
I wouldn't say so, no. The world is big. There's a lot more people than this tiny bubble. There's a lot more experiences to be had. There's a lot of growing to be had. This isn't it.
Welcome to the Davison Boys. This is podcast number 9. We have Courtney McDaniel as our special guest here today. She is a professional bodybuilder. She did one competition. She got first place, and she got a big old sword to show. But Courtney, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Highland, so I grew up there, went to American Fork High School, and then I went up to Salt Lake and went to the U, and then I fell in love with Salt Lake, so I stayed. So I've been up there for about 7 years now.
7 years. How old are you?
24.
7 years and you're 24.
6 years.
6 years.
No, 7 years. My birthday's like in a couple months.
You moved out at like 18?
Mm-hmm.
Good for
I moved
you.
to the dorms, right? Yeah, before I turned 18. I'm young for my grade.
Is that where you found your passion for bodybuilding?
No, it was a few years later. Definitely wasn't my freshman year of college that I was when I was into the gym too much.
What made you want to start?
I know everyone has a story as to like why they started going to the gym, and I definitely had a traumatic year where I just needed an outlet. I needed something that I could control, something that I felt like I had power over. And so I originally turned to nutrition. I just started because I had started working at a gym where they did personal training and nutrition consultations. And so I kind of just tried to learn everything I could about nutrition, and I got really invested. And as I kind of started seeing changes in my body just from doing that, I decided to kind of try to start learning about the gym. And I had a personal trainer at the time, so I definitely had an easy start there.
Why nutrition though? Were you, this might be a weird question, but were you like overweight at one point and you're like, I want to look better?
Well, I did do the freshman 15 to 20.
Really?
Who doesn't though?
I want to see a picture of that because I can't imagine you being 15 or 20 pounds heavier.
But I honestly don't even remember going into it with like the intent of losing weight or achieving a certain body or look or anything. I really went into it with just I wanted to have control of something, and nutrition is like what you put in your mouth. That's the one thing you can control in life. Like, you can't control, what anyone else does or the situations or circumstances you're in. But that's it's not the only thing, but it is one thing that you can definitely control.
So nutrition, why is that such a big deal when you're bodybuilding? You're trying to look as lean as possible.
Well, isn't there like a saying, like you can't outrun your fork or something like that? Like
True.
And abs are made in the kitchen.
I've heard that, but I don't believe it.
I don't think I've ever trained abs formally.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Okay, you guys need to look at her Instagram. Courtney McDaniel, her abs are amazing.
No, it's truly is just being consistent and consistency with your diet, yeah.
You really don't work out abs at all?
Mm-mm.
So you just eat clean?
I can't really say that, I guess, because compound lifts, heavy squats, heavy deadlifts, lunges, they're all compound. You're using every muscle in your body, so technically that is an ab workout.
Squats are ab workouts?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I've never had a belt. I lift fairly heavy. I've never had a belt, knee braces, wrist straps, any of that. I just
What about your joints? Are your joints pretty good?
I focus on mobility, and I focus on just listening to my body, but that's what I attribute my core muscles to, because if you wear a belt, you're taking away, your body has built-in stabilization. When you get to a certain
Do you make fun of those people that wear belts while they're lifting, doing the 45-pound dumbbells?
Never.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't think it's something you have to earn, but I think getting into the gym, I don't see why you would need to set yourself up with all of these extra added things when you don't necessarily need them.
It's true.
And
So
a lot of people think you have to have all this stuff, or you have to have lifting shoes, or you have to have XYZ to get into the gym, and you don't.
I've been wearing the same tank top to the gym for the last 2 years, and it's probably really gross.
Yeah, I wear a sports bra, leggings, and my little Metcons. I'm not cool enough to wear the white Vans.
Do you wear those big old headphones when you work out?
I used to. They fall off my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you wear a hat?
No, I'm not.
I always wear a hat and I just don't look at anybody.
I do the hood.
The hood?
The hood.
Cool. I mean, you're cool then. You can join the crew.
Yeah, and it's early enough in the morning. It's not.
Oh yeah, you go out. Tell them what time you go to the gym.
I go to the gym at 4:30 in the morning.
Guys, 4:30. It's daylight hasn't even come up yet. While you guys are sleeping, she's in the gym.
It's the best part of my day, honestly.
4:30?
Yeah.
What time do you go to bed?
10.
What? You're getting like 5 hours of sleep.
It is probably not the healthiest, so maybe don't listen to me. But to me, I feel like I work 8 to 4. I spend, that whole day working. After work, I've got chores, errands, whatever. That 4:30 to 8 is like time for me. And
Yeah.
so I love my breakfast. I eat the same breakfast every
4:30
day.
to 8?
Well, just my morning.
Okay.
I've got the gym routine. I go to the gym. Usually I'll go to the grocery store. I have my little friends at the Smiths that I see every morning. I'll get coffee. I'll go home, make breakfast. I love my breakfast.
I love my
I eat the same breakfast
What do you eat
every
for
day.
breakfast?
I eat an English muffin, some egg whites, and a big bowl of oatmeal and blueberries.
Are you like really technical about the serving sizes?
A little bit. But
Kind of
part of that is just because I've just dialed in the recipe and just, it just goes so well together.
What about performance enhancing drugs? Do you believe in those? Steroids?
Do I believe in them? I think to compete at a certain level, I think it almost is necessary. I don't know of too many natural bodybuilders that compete at a pro level.
And if they are natural, they're just lying about it probably, right?
Well, yeah. And even in like the bikini divisions, those women that are seemingly so stick thin, like they are on all sorts of enhancements and stuff. But
you got to give them credit because they're in the gym
yeah,
most of the day.
It's not gonna give you an insane physique without working hard for it. You can't just take drugs and it's gonna be, you're gonna be shredded. But
People think that if you're all fat and like eating Cheetos all day, if you take steroids, you're just gonna look like Arnold the next like 2 months, and it's not true.
if it was that way, that'd be really cool.
That would be awesome. I would do them in a heartbeat.
Yeah, me too. For sure.
So tell us, Courtney, you started bodybuilding your couple years after going to college.
Mm-hmm.
You found a passion for nutrition. And what was the experience like preparing for that first show?
So I feel like I've almost been preparing for this first show for 2 years because I've always wanted to do a show. Like it's always been like the coolest thing to me. I love being on stage. I love being the center of attention, and it's always been a dream of mine. But I never wanted to start the show without being completely ready to go. Like I wanted to win. I wanted to show up, take everything. I wanted to win. So
you wanted to get first. You weren't going to get second place.
So I worked for a long time to just build my metabolism up, build my muscle base up, because I knew I wanted to compete in figure, which I don't know who's listening to this podcast, but there's several divisions within bodybuilding, bikini being the one that you see most often. And then figure is kind of just right above that. And then there's women's physique up from there. So figure is kind of right in the middle.
So what does that mean, like figure compared to like physique?
So physique, it's all based on, they judge you on different things. So I'm not exactly sure with the bikini, the specifics of the what they're judging you on, but it's mostly glute development, rounded delt caps, and then just kind of your stage presence is different. But figure specifically, they focus on really wide lats, rounded delt caps, more muscle definition in your quads, and you can show striation. So in bikini, you can't show any muscular striation.
Really?
So I knew I was not going to be able to go into bikini because I already pre-prep had striations in my shoulders. So yeah, it's kind of just you slowly get bigger as the muscles get bigger as you go up.
What made you want to choose figure? Is that what it's called? Figure, yeah.
Well, I knew after talking with a coach that I had no shot at bikini.
Why?
Like I said, I already had those muscular striations on my shoulders, and you can't have. I have six-pack looking abs visible.
They don't like that?
You can have. They want a really small waist to like glute ratio, which I have more of a athletic build.
I feel like that's harder though to compete in figure. I feel like you have to put in a lot more work.
I don't know if it's necessarily harder because for me it fit my body structure a little bit better, but you just need more muscle mass, and I think that just takes more years in the gym building that mass. But
So you trained for 2 years for this show. You're going in for figure.
2 years. The 2 years were me just making sure I could eat a lot of food. Like I started prep eating around 3,000 calories. Like
You ate 3,000 calories?
so I wanted my metabolism to be really, really healthy. I wanted my muscle base to be really, really healthy. And then when I finally pulled the trigger and decided to choose a show, I only had a 9-week prep. So some people prep for 6 months. They're cutting like slowly.
So 9 weeks, that's fast.
That was really fast.
You have to get it going.
Mm-hmm.
What did you do to prepare for that?
So I only actually did 2 levels to my cut in terms of like cutting calories, and then just slowly adding cardio. So you just cut your calories, add cardio. But the hardest part of prep for me was learning the posing, because the posing is half the battle.
Show us one pose. I want to see how you guys like. How do you?
Up?
Yeah, dude. I want to see it. Just stand right in the middle.
Okay. Should I keep my headphones on?
Yeah.
So our front pose, heels are together like this. I don't have heels on, but you do a lat flare. So you have your arms out like this, and then they'll say quarter turn to the right. You step, turn, hold like this, and you do the same thing to the back.
So you're practicing this up 9 weeks before you're even on stage.
Mm-hmm. And then you
I
do
feel
like
like
model poses where you stand like this, but you're all focusing on like pulling your lats out.
What are you trying to flex when you're doing this? I see your shoulders.
Yeah, so they want to see a rounded delt cap. They want to see your lats out. I'm wearing the worst shirt to show the lats, but they want to see your lats out, and then in the back, from your back pose, they want to see hamstring separation, and they want to see your quad swoop. Is it called a quad swoop? The outside of your quads from the back.
I feel like you would know more than I would.
I think it's called a quad swoop. That's just
quad swoop?
Sounding weird from the back, saying it out loud, but.
No, that was awesome. I feel like I'd get up there and I'd feel like I would know what I'm doing, but I would have no idea. Is it a lot of work to like get those posing routines down?
It's so exhausting. It's not even funny because you're flexing every muscle, like just out of your mind, but then you're trying to like do soft hands and you're trying to smile and keep your chin down and like look pretty, because you also.
How long are you holding that pose for?
You could be holding, because you could be doing turns in comparisons for 5 minutes, depending on how many women.
Just flexing as hard as you can. That's hard.
And when you're like shifting around, like you can't like let any air out of your stomach. You're sucking in. Your chest is high. Like it's just making it look effortless is the hardest part.
Yeah, I feel like my face would get all red and I'd be tense.
And you're wearing like a bedazzled, tiny little swimsuit and like 6-inch heels.
Just super vulnerable
Just
to
so
be judged.
Just with a crazy sticky spray tan and.
Did you ever feel like, because obviously doing those routines every day, did you get to a point where you're like, okay, I got this down. I'm not worried about the posing routine.
I did not feel that way until the second I walked in. And actually, I had prepared to have 3 spots for my posing, because the show I ended up doing was smaller than I anticipated. So day of show, they told us we were just doing one pose in the middle. We were doing all of our poses in the center of the stage.
All together, all lined up?
When I did my individual routine.
Okay.
So I had to just scrap everything I'd like practice and do it all in the middle of the stage that day, which was probably good for me though, because sometimes when you just overthink it, you're just too in your head, so you just have to like wing it. Sometimes it goes better.
Did it go good?
It went good, obviously.
She got first place. Tell us about the sword that you got. What did you get for winning first place?
I got a sword. So each division that you compete in, you would get a medal, and then the overall. So there was an overall in each division. So for women, there was a bikini overall, a figure, a fitness overall. So each one of us would get a sword, and then you get a medal for winning your division. So my division was like 5'7" and taller, because I'm a little bit tall. So I was lucky because that was pretty easy. Not a lot of women that compete are tall.
I feel like that makes you have a better look though overall. Because that picture on Instagram, you do look tall in that picture. Yeah,
and the woman, I don't even know if on Instagram I have the girl that was sitting next to me, but she was significantly shorter than me. And it
makes you stand out way more.
But that's why they do it based off height, because our muscle, you can see our proportions are so different. Like me being so much taller, it looks so different on me than it would on her. So.
What about like in men's bodybuilding, like Phil Heath versus like say like Kai Green, or I forget the other big competitor right now. There's Phil Heath and the other guy that's been trying to win for years. What's his name? I think it's Kai Green. But he's significantly shorter than Phil Heath, so Phil looks a lot bigger.
Yeah, so usually in like the overall, they all compete against each other, which is.
That would suck to be short.
Yeah,
you got lucky. She's got the genes for it.
Yep.
So how did that feel, getting up on stage and winning first place? What was going through your head?
Oh my gosh, it was a whirlwind, because once your division starts going, you're just hustling backstage. They're just throwing you out there, telling you what you're doing.
Is your coach with you at this time when you're backstage?
No, because I competed in Vegas, and she is based here in Salt Lake. And so
Oh, you were by yourself, like with your family?
Mm-hmm. My family came, and then my best friend Lauren and her boyfriend came to support me. So that was kind of cool. They made the trip out.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. You had the support behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Were they all
Especially
cheering you on?
I was a pain in the butt too, because you can imagine.
You're probably
a couple
grumpy, were
days
you?
before, yeah. And like the day of the show, my brothers were eating donuts in the hotel room right in front of me. But at that point, I was just like, I don't even care. I'm ready to just get this over with and do it.
Were you getting sick of it at that time? Like up until competition, were you like, I'm ready to be done?
I was just you're just so vulnerable in that state because you're so depleted, you're so tired, you're so emotional. So you just really have to surround yourself with people that love you, because you're not very lovable at that point in time. But
I like how you brought that up. I didn't expect that, actually. But I can imagine you're depleting your body of all your like sugars.
I actually, throughout prep, I'm so glad I did this. I documented like videos of myself just talking
Really?
about what I was feeling. And it's sad watching them back, because I'd be sitting in my car just crying just because I didn't feel like I could do it anymore. I felt like giving up, or I felt like I wasn't on the path that I needed to be, or at the level I needed to be at that point in time. And
What do you think made you keep going?
I don't even honestly know. I just discipline, I guess, because I think of it just like you set a plan beforehand, knowing that there's like going to be obstacles. You know that you're going to be weak. I knew going into it there's going to be points and times where I want to break, or when I want to give up, or I want to just eat the damn cookie, you know?
Yeah.
And so I stuck to my plan so hard that like I just trusted it and knew that like I just had to keep going. There was no way I was going to let myself give up.
So you're determined. You have drive.
And I had amazing support. I honestly did. I think
From your family?
From my family. I have the best family, and
how do they support you? In what way?
Well, one, they're just so I've been competitive with my brothers, my dad, everyone.
Are you the only girl?
I'm the only girl. I have 2 younger brothers, but everything's a competition always. So they've always pushed me. Like even workouts, like we all have the Apple Watch. If you don't close your rings.
Are you serious? Is that like an everyday thing?
Yeah.
I love that. So you guys are all really close.
Mm-hmm.
Did they really push you to like keep going?
Mm-hmm. And they were also supportive. And it's something that I don't know how many parents would be super supportive of, because it's not necessarily a healthy thing to push your body to those limits. It's not necessarily
Yeah, but how many times in your life can you say that you went up on stage and competed and you got first place?
Yeah. It to me, it was just, I always like to be pushing myself to be uncomfortable, to doing something in life that's making me uncomfortable, whether that's in my career, whether that's in the gym, whether that's, socially. I think it's important to always feel a little uncomfortable in some areas of your life. And I was a little more uncomfortable than I was anticipating during that, but those are the things you're proud of.
It definitely helps you grow. When you're uncomfortable, like you get to see yourself in a different perspective, and you get to analyze everything that you're doing. And you're judging yourself in the mirror every single day in your head. I can only imagine the anxiety that you'd probably be feeling. Because even this podcast, like when I first started, I posted the first video on YouTube, and that night, I've never been insecure. I've never really cared what people thought. That night, I was shaking, and I was like, what's happening? I feel like people are going to hate me.
Yeah, because you're putting yourself out there. You're being vulnerable.
You're putting yourself out there to be judged by everybody. Then you just got to remember that doesn't matter. Nobody is actually thinking about you the way that you're thinking about yourself.
No. I find that I look for my insecurities in other people. I'm not looking at what necessarily their insecurities are.
Yeah. But I feel like bodybuilding's different, though, because you are being judged by every part of your body. Is that a completely different feeling than posting a thing on social media that you're insecure about?
Yeah. No, and kind of like what we were saying before we started the podcast, it's... you see yourself so differently after you've been at that point. You almost feel like you peaked, and you're never going to look that good again. You're never going to,
Do you want to do another competition eventually?
I would like to eventually. Now that I know kind of the mental strain of it, because physically I could definitely do it again. It was just the strain that I put on my family, and to work a full-time job still while doing something like that, to have the mental bandwidth to still work and still, handle all your responsibilities. That's what worries me about doing it again. Because the show that I did nationally qualify, so I could go compete in a national show, which is how you would get a pro card and how you would.
Why don't you do it?
Be an actual pro, because I'm not necessarily.
I'll sponsor you.
I'm definitely not an actual pro, but
You look like one. You could do it.
Because that show I competed at, they had the bikini pros were there competing, so I got to watch that, which was super cool, and it's a whole nother level.
This might sound like I don't know what I'm talking about, but bikinis, I feel like they're just judging like who looks the best in a bikini. What are they looking for?
But I mean, realistically, like my coach even told me before my competition, you're a show pony. It's not just about who has the best, muscles, who has the best delts or whatever. It's the whole package. So like my hair's short. For that show, I had extensions down to my butt.
Really?
Like you get a full face of makeup. Like your swimsuits, those swimsuits are not cheap. They're bedazzled.
Wouldn't that cover your back though, the extensions?
It does cover your back, and that's part of your routine. You have to like move your hair.
Oh.
The bikini girls don't move their hair because they're not judged on their back. So they leave their
They just
hair
gotta
down.
stand and look pretty.
Mm-hmm. They're judged on their butt more so.
Oh.
But yeah, it's about the whole package. So.
Have you dated a bodybuilder before?
I haven't dated a bodybuilder before. Oddly enough, that's like not the type of person I'm attracted to. I think it's because I'm so intense. I am attracted to people that are way more relaxed and settle me down a little bit. But who knows? Maybe it would work. But
I feel like it would just be like an odd, powerful relationship. Just like two bodybuilders in the family.
In some ways, it'd probably be easier though, because they'd understand
They would.
the meal stuff. Because that's a hard thing with dating. Like when you're so meticulous about nutrition. You get asked out on a date and you don't really have a choice.
Like, I can go eat chicken from Walmart.
Chicken and lettuce. Is that okay?
That's respectable, though. Some guys would probably find it annoying, but...
Yeah, it's definitely been a little bit of a problem.
Talking about dating, actually, have you struggled with dating while you were competing?
Yeah, while I was competing, I pretty much just shut out the world. I know people do it somehow. I've seen lots of people make it work, but for me, it was just not possible because I had a one-track mind on what I wanted to do, and dating definitely wasn't in the cards.
It takes up a lot of time and energy that you could be focusing on, like, your goal.
Yeah.
But you need to get married eventually, right? It's a thing people do.
Even dating now, dating's exhausting.
It's exhausting for sure, and they need
getting
attention
to know
all the
someone,
time.
And you have to pretend like you're not crazy for the first little while.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, we're all going to therapy for that. No, dating is especially hard, I feel like, if you're a bodybuilder, because not only are you like more attractive than that person, depends on who you're dating, of course, but like you're probably gonna be more attractive. You're gonna be a lot fitter than they are. If they have low energy and you were like ready to go,
Mm-hmm.
would that kind of turn you off?
I don't know. I feel like I'm low energy just because my lack of sleep all the time.
Getting 6 hours a night and just going to the gym at 4:30.
But to me, what's important, I think, is I have so much passion and drive in the gym and discipline, and I love seeing that same drive and passion in other people, but it doesn't necessarily have to be in the gym. It's just I love passionate people and people that care about what they do, and like even this podcast, like this is so cool.
Yeah.
This is a passion of yours, and like that's
I'm the
cool.
same way. I love people who have like a why in life.
Yeah.
Like something that gets them up in the morning they can work on. The podcast has been really helpful because if I go to work all day, I'm working for somebody else. I'm not starting up anything. I'm not getting followers for my own brand. I'm helping somebody else grow. So I get to come home and grow something on my own. Whether it goes big or doesn't go big, like it's something I can focus on every day, and it's all in my control.
Well, I hope it goes big. This is cool.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Maybe I'll go big.
Yeah, then you're going to get huge. You're going to get so many followers.
I hope so. The only reason I'm here.
That's right. She told me that before she came. No, I'm just kidding. But no, Courtney, I think you are an awesome person. But I kind of want to talk about this next part, about weightlifting. So besides the nutrition, you're going to the gym at 4 a.m. What's your like workout routine? Like how vigorously are you lifting these weights?
I train pretty hard. I don't like to spend an excessive amount of time in the gym. I usually keep it to an hour. I recently have had a passion for the Stairmaster machine. I never have been a cardio bunny. I've never loved to run or do anything cardio related, but I do love to sweat, and so I do love the Stairmaster. So I've been doing that a lot lately before my workouts. But
that helps with your butt, right? Gets it big?
So. Yeah. And I just love watching YouTube videos.
As you're walking up the stairs.
If anyone's ever heard of Good Golf, I'm obsessed with Good Golf.
What is that?
Have you ever heard of them?
No.
You should look them up on YouTube. It's
Good
just a group of
Golf.
guys that they golf all these really.
Do you
cool
like
courses.
golf?
I love golf.
Really? Is it fun? I've never actually been golfing.
You've never been golf?
I've
never heard a guy tell me they've never been
Top golf.
Usually every guy's like, oh yeah, golf's my.
That's actually
golf's
why I
my-
don't want to start golfing. It's because so many people are so
Yeah,
into
you're-
golfing that I'm like, that's
You're
gross.
too late.
Yeah, I don't know anything about golf.
You missed
No,
it.
Tiger Woods got like cheated on his wife or something.
Yeah.
It's like the coolest part about golf.
But my workout routine, like just like how I structure my lifts.
Yeah. So like you go and do like a leg day, back day, arm day. What's your strategy?
Right now I've got 2 leg days, so I split my legs, quads and calves, glutes and hamstrings, and then I do a chest and shoulders, or chest and tries depending on the week. Sometimes I'll just do a strictly shoulder day. I'm not super structured that way, and then I'll do a back day, back and buys, and then I swim.
Do you have like a CrossFit routine that you do?
Not really.
Do you hate CrossFit?
No, I actually did CrossFit in high school.
No.
I really like CrossFit. And I think that's where I learned a lot of fundamentals about compound movements, because I love to deadlift. I love to squat heavy. All my workouts every single one is focused like mostly on a compound lift. So whether that's a military press, whether that's bench or deadlifts or squats or reverse lunges, I center my workout. Probably a third of my workout is that one lift.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So I spend like a good 20 to 30 minutes on the squat rack doing squats or whatever I'm doing.
20 to 30 minutes just on squats?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't do like 5 sets of 5 reps or like 5 sets of 20 reps. You're there for like a half hour.
Well, similar to like 5 by 5 or like 5 by 6 or something, depending on what I'm working on that week.
Say leg day. Do you do like a lot of reps on leg day?
Like what I was just going to say, sometimes I have more of a strength focus, and then sometimes I have more of a hypertrophy focus to my lift. I'm at a point right now where I'm not doing like a structured program just because I'm happy with my muscle base and I'm happy with where I'm at. So I'm kind of just maintaining and working on little nitpicky things throughout my lifts. But
what's your goal now that you've done, like you competed, you got first place? Like what do you want to do now? Actually,
I'm really interested in doing triathlons.
No way.
I'm a big swimmer. I love to swim. I don't know if I should say I'm a big swimmer. I enjoy swimming just in general.
Just for fun.
Just for fun. And I've always loved to bike, and it's just a new challenge for me. It's something shifting away from the aesthetics, because I think I'm still personally kind of struggling a little bit with like seeing myself after the show. It's been a couple months, but I just need to get away from just focusing on how I look all the time, because that's, I think, the part that has been so hard, is just everyone praises you for how you look and how amazing you did, and then it's so unsustainable for me to maintain. Like even where I'm at right now.
Is this you maintaining? Because this looks like you're going to go compete tomorrow.
My family would probably disagree that this is me maintaining, because I am still pretty disciplined, but there's a lot more flexibility than when I was competing, for sure. But I need to shift away from that for my mental health.
Just mentally get in a better headspace before you compete again?
Yeah, because I think a lot of competitors have spoken on just struggling mentally after a show, and like getting your diet back in check, and struggles with like binging on things and just having no hunger cues, because I did lose my hunger cues. Like you never know when you're hungry or when you're full. It's a weird feeling.
You kind of always feel like shit.
You just always feel hungry all the time.
That sucks.
And you're like ravenous, and all you can think about is food, and it's consuming, and then you eat yourself sick, and that's when you feel
Do you feel guilty if you eat?
Now?
Like too much? Not now, like when you're like getting ready for competition?
Yeah, well, I didn't mess up one time.
You didn't cheat at all?
No,
really?
I didn't cheat one time. Well, I did get one free meal, because Christmas, I got dinner with my family on Christmas Day.
That's you cheating. You had to wait till Christmas to get some food.
That was because I did my prep during the worst time of year, like Thanksgiving, Christmas,
you
New
did.
Year's. So
you missed out on all the good ones.
But that made my show a little easier, because it was only the really disciplined people that made it through the holidays that showed up to a February show. Because the bigger shows are in the summertime, like May time, like all the big shows are coming up, because it's a good time to prep.
Are you gonna go watch them?
I'd like to. There was just a show here, I think last weekend, the Wasatch Warrior.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
It's like an NPC show?
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. Those are so fun, and people look so much bigger in real life. Like, you go watch them, and like, whoa, you were a giant.
Or not that big in real life. There
True.
was quite a few people that you're like...
You look better on Instagram.
You're competing right now?
I remember my first bodybuilding competition. I didn't compete. I was watching with my dad. We were like super big fans when we were in high school. And he was like this... I forget his name. It was some dude, and he was like probably like 5'6", but he was like that wide, and his muscles were ginormous. And I was like, one day I'm gonna look like that.
Are you gonna compete?
No, I just love the gym. Just like I just been going since I was in high school with my dad, but it's now like a habit, and we both love it. We go together every day still.
You with your dad all the time?
Yep, he's 60 years old, and he's
That's awesome.
he still loves it. So it's like our passion together. It's really fun.
See, and that's another thing I love about the gym is like it can just be an outlet or like a way to, that's how I connect with my family too.
Yeah.
Is like getting to compete and like work out together, like do workouts in our basement, and it's fun. So that's awesome.
It's like a different connection that you have with them when you're like doing something hard together and you're like uplifting each other. It's so much easier to want to go do it the next day.
Yeah.
If I was going by myself, it would be a lot harder to be disciplined because I'd be like lonely at the gym. So if my dad passes away, it's going to be a hard time. You're by yourself at the gym, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. But I don't do well with, I mean, I've never had a gym partner that I feel like.
Oh, I can't work out with my brother or like my friends because
Yeah.
they just want to talk the whole time.
Exactly. And I think I could work out with I do work out with my dad sometimes, and he whoops my butt, so.
Does he get you going?
He gets me going. He's in better shape than me.
How old is he?
I think if he's going to listen to this, he's born in 69. He's 54?
54?
54? He's turning 54.
That makes sense, yeah.
54.
And he's still working out?
He's still working out. He's in great shape.
Good.
So, yeah.
Does he run a lot with you?
I don't run yet. I'm working on
You're
it.
kidding me. I want to do a triathlon, but I don't run.
I got the swim down. I got the bike down. I just got to learn how to run.
Is the triathlon a lot like an Ironman? Is that kind of the same thing?
Ironman's like a massive triathlon, yeah.
My brother just did one, not this one, I have an older brother, but he did one last week and he finished. But he said that the emotional, he didn't tell me this, my mom told me this, but his emotional stability towards the end, you get really up and down.
So I'm pretty sure an Ironman's a full marathon, and then
after you swim and bike for a bunch of
100
miles, yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna start with a sprint, like a 5K run.
Yeah, you should do it. I did a half marathon 2 years ago, but I didn't train at all for it. Cause I'm like, half marathon, I can do that. And my legs both
You get shin splints?
The first mile. And then my whole legs, both of them, they went completely straight and I couldn't bend them because they were just, what's that called when they pulse?
Like a cramp?
Yeah, it was a cramp that lasted the entire race. I'm wobbling and
Did you
people
make
are,
it to the end?
yeah, I made it to the end barely. Thought I was going to die. It was really bad. And I drank too much water and it was a bad experience. Next time I do it, I'll train.
Just a little bit.
Just a little
Couple
bit.
runs, couple jogs.
Yeah.
Beforehand,
Leg day's not my favorite day.
It's mine right now. I go through.
You can teach me because I have they aren't tiny, but they're a lot smaller than my upper body.
That's my problem is I build muscle in my upper body a lot easier than in my lower body, and so I just want good legs, So,
I just want a nice butt.
yeah.
Go swimming.
Nothing. Stairs. Get on the Stairmaster.
Exactly. Does that work pretty well?
I honestly don't know. I just do it to get a sweat rolling.
To watch some golf videos on YouTube?
I'm sure on Instagram people will say that you do the little kickbacks on the stairs.
I look so dumb doing those. I'll do it in my basement. I won't do legs at the gym because I'm embarrassed. I'll do it in here.
Only at your
I do those
gym.
kickbacks and I feel like a girl, but we won't talk about that.
It's worth it.
So going back to dating, you said that you were in a relationship when you first started training.
Mm-hmm. I was in a relationship for 3-ish years, and yeah, we broke up September-ish time, and then
you competed in February?
I started prep end of November.
So that had to do a mental toll on you too.
Yeah, I mean,
you were together for 3 years.
We were able to remain friends, and we're still somewhat friends now.
Is that helpful?
Yeah, it's helpful. We grew apart, and so it wasn't like someone did anything wrong or cheated or anything that would have really hurt. It's just the weirdest part is just when you are together for so long, separating your friend group, separating your stuff, you're just so.
Yeah. After 3 years, your life is together pretty much.
And so I think it was good for me to just focus my mind on something for me that was 100% my thing, and I think that helped me get over things a lot quicker.
Do you have guys hit on you at the gym?
Yeah, I try to look mean at the gym. I try to look intimidating so people don't talk to me, but.
You don't feel flattered?
I do feel flattered. I appreciate when people will come up. I get more compliments from women than anything.
Really?
I went to Disneyland last weekend, and my mom was like, we got to figure out a way for you to respond to this not so awkward, because everyone will be like, I love your arms. How do you get arms like that? Are you a gymnast? And I'm always like, no, I just go to the gym. And I say something super awkward. And so we were trying to dial in what I was gonna say, and then at the airport, someone asked me again, oh, what do you do for your arms? Are you an athlete? And I forgot that we'd dialed in this answer, and so I started saying what I used to say. Then I went back to the answer of I'm a fitness competitor, or I'm a bodybuilder.
Is that what you're supposed to say? I'm a fitness competitor.
What would you Can you help me?
I can't take compliments. People compliment me. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
thanks. They're not that good. I'll get better.
Yeah, I get so awkward. So if you have any suggestions for what to say, because I appreciate it so much.
Just say thank you. I've been working so hard.
And then, are you a gymnast?
Yes. I am.
Should I just start saying yeah?
Yeah, just agree with them. Make up a story.
I'm a little too tall to be a gymnast, I think.
Are you?
I don't know. I feel like that.
Have you done cheer before? I used to do cheer in high school.
Did you?
I wasn't a football player. I was a cheerleader.
That's kind of. I feel like that's the move.
It was the move. It was me, my 3 friends, and then 40 girls.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I was too young to like hit on the girls, and they were too young, so it wasn't that great, but it was fun.
So you can do like backflips. And
Yeah, backflips, stunting. I actually don't want to cheer ever again though, because when you're like throwing the girls up, you have to catch them, and you have to push them up, and it's my shoulder. Like I have good shoulders, but it like hurts. Like I think I tore something or something. Yeah, something like.
Yeah, what about your wrists? I
Wrists are fine actually, because they just like balance on you. It's just when you get them from here and you go up, you have to hold them up there, and it just doesn't feel very good.
So it's a lot harder than people probably think it is.
Yeah, it is a lot harder, but also easier. It's confusing. You have to try it sometime.
Yeah, I'm not coordinated like that. I wish. I've always wanted to be able to like do a back handspring or like.
Oh, you could do it. You can look like this. You can do a backflip. What was that?
I don't have great air awareness. Like like when you're jumping on a tramp and like I don't know.
Oh, it's true. You can learn that quick though.
Mm-hmm.
Once you start flipping a
I've
little
been
bit.
trying for a long time.
You've been trying to do a backflip?
Well, I tried to learn how to do a backflip on a snowboard for a long time, and I did.
That's completely
I did
different.
Get it a couple times, but
You did a backflip on a snowboard.
I probably have a video somewhere I'll have to show you.
That's amazing. Okay, you just got way cooler.
I did one backflip on a snowboard. So.
Where at?
I think it was at Brighton. I snowboarded in high school with a lot of guys that were really good at snowboarding, and so it was easy for me to like kind of just follow them around and like learn from them.
Were you always confident, like in high school too?
No, I wouldn't even say I'm like crazy confident now.
You say that, but you seem confident.
I'm confident in certain things, but I think a lot of people, especially women, are just so insecure about their weight or like their body that way.
Yeah.
And my insecurities are just different. Like I just have other things that I'm insecure about.
So if you don't get hit on at the gym, are you hitting on the guys at the gym?
I do get hit on a little bit at the gym, but my gym that I go to, I feel like it's like a little family there because it's the same.
Oh, that's fun.
5 people that are there in the morning every morning. And so, like, there's a guy that somehow gets to the gym. We don't talk to each other that much, but we know each other's names. That's about it. There's a guy that gets there before me without a car. Somehow he's just there all the time. He's way intense.
Like runs to the gym in the morning at 4?
Yes, rain or shine. And then there's another guy that works nights, and so he's there early in the morning. And then just a couple other crazy people that like to get up at the crack of dawn.
If you guys are watching, most of our viewers are from Utah. So if you guys want to see her, don't go to Vasa. She doesn't go there. We won't tell you.
Go to
where she
X365.
Oh, she told you.
I think they won best gym.
Did they really?
Yeah, and I think they're in the running for.
It's probably because you're paying $90 a month.
Probably.
I'm just kidding. That gym
they
actually
have
sounds
great
pretty cool.
trainers. Like I was able to train as a trainer there for a short period of time, and that's the whole concept of the gym is they have like 5 or 6 trainers that are just kind of their own deal. Like it's not like a Vasa type deal where they are owned by the gym. They all get to have their own training styles, and they like when I was a trainer for such a short period of time, it was so cool. It was just free reign, like just whatever I wanted to do and however I wanted to structure the workouts. They had no say. They just were cool with it.
That's awesome. I'm actually making fun of you because I'm jealous. I want to go to an expensive gym. They're just too expensive.
No, but you invest your money and time in the things that matter to you. So
that's true.
That's obviously what matters.
But the gym is like one of the big things, though. Like I love the gym with a passion. But I don't really want to get big. Like I don't want to be known as the guy that works out all the time. No, but you look great. Like I just like to feel great, and then I like to get looked at the gym. But I'm too scared to compete ever.
No, and what you just said, like I don't want to be known as like the guy that just works out. I am trying to move away from that because I feel like that's what I've lived for the last couple years, and I feel like I derive a lot of my confidence from that, and I'm trying to like branch away, kind of like with the triathlon thing. I'm trying to get away from that because it's cool. And
Do you
it's
feel like you're
awesome.
gonna lose it if you go too far away from it?
I know how to get back to this point though. That's what's
Do
cool.
you?
That's what's so cool.
Give it like a year though, and what if you haven't like focused on it at all? Are you gonna remember? 'Cause
I get so like just excited to talk about this stuff, but like it truly is like an art. Like I feel like it's how do I word it? Your body is like art. Like you get to shape it and make it whatever you want through what you put into it, how you treat it, how you move it, and you get to create something. And you are what you eat, doing
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's cool. Like if I wanted to bulk and I wanted to get really big, I could. I'd eat more food. I'd lift heavier weights. Or if I wanted to get really stick skinny, I would eat less. I would, eat higher protein. Whatever.
So you know how to like manipulate your body into looking how you want it to look.
And I think I know that for me. That's why I don't want to be a nutritionist, or I don't want to be
It's hard, huh?
Because it's a lot of work to do it for someone else. I know it for myself. I know my body inside and out and what works for me.
It's true. I remember going to the gym all the time. I was looking really good, and then I had people like reach out to me like, "Hey, like, what should I do?" And in my mind, I'm like, I know what works for me, so I would tell them like what works for me, and it doesn't work for them. It doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah, or they were like, "That's ridiculous. That's what you do."
But you were a personal trainer for a while, right?
For a really short period of time, but yeah, because I was working a full-time desk job and trying to be a personal trainer at the same time, and so I just had to kind of choose.
Was it hard to like see somebody and like know what? Like it's easy to like put them on a treadmill, like, hey, run for a mile, but how do you customize a workout routine for each individual?
Well, in my specific experience, I sat down with them before we started our program and kind of asked what their goals were, what they wanted to do. So, for example, one of the first guys I worked with, he really wanted to get strong in like bench. Like he really wanted a strong bench. And so along with like getting a strong bench, you have other side effects like weight loss, muscle gain, different things. But that was his main goal, was he wanted to get stronger in bench. And so I structured his program kind of how I structure mine, because I love compound lifts, and I think that would be the best way to build his strength up in his bench. And so it kind of just, you personalize it to what they wanted to achieve. If it was purely weight loss, sometimes with women that's harder to convince them to lift heavy weights, but truly
a lot of girls think they're gonna get like big, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, if they start
I've
working
been
out.
trying to get big for so long, and I'm not that big, so
But you look great. Like you don't have like 22-inch biceps, but you have like the definition in your arms. 21. We're getting there.
No, yeah, you have to, I don't know, you'd have to be on
steroids to get that big. Yeah.
And it truly, it baffles me that people think that you could just do that through lifting, 40-pound dumbbells.
What if you don't want to go to the gym and you just want to eat at home? Is it possible to lose all that weight just by eating differently?
150%.
Really?
I think so, yeah.
Can you get abs from not working out and just eating right if you're overweight?
Depending on, honestly, being overweight, you probably have a pretty strong core carrying that weight around. And, everyone's different. It's specific to everyone, so it's hard to say universally. But, yeah, I think diet is 100% more important than the gym. And you, too, like during COVID and stuff, I was doing workouts at home. I was doing workouts in the park.
That's true. You were training during COVID.
Yeah, I remember going to Highland High School with one of my friends, and we had a kettlebell. And we were just doing all sorts of, like, running on the track and doing push-ups and lunges, and we just made it work.
Were you scared that it wasn't going to open back up? You can't go to the gym? I'd be terrified.
It was crazy. I was scared of a lot of stuff during that time.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone was. I lost my job.
Sucks.
I graduated school and didn't get to walk or anything. It was a crazy time. I was actually living in an RV for a short period of time with my friends just because everyone was so scared.
In an RV?
Well, my brothers had come home from a mission, and so everyone was scared of that they were contaminated or whatever. So I just went and stayed in Salt Lake with my friends, and they happened to be living in an RV. So we just had the time of our lives just living in an RV.
So you're not like a materialistic girl?
I wouldn't say so, no.
Just physically? You're just
No, really though, for Christmas every year we get experiences, like Disney. I went to Disneyland with my mom.
That's so fun.
Yeah, I think, there's some things that are important and that I definitely spend money on, but.
Family's one of them?
Family's definitely one of them.
Okay, this is the last question for you. If you could go to your 17-year-old self, right in high school, about to graduate.
I feel like it's going to be a tough question.
What would you tell that person to inspire them?
I'd probably just tell them that the world is big. There's a lot more people than this tiny bubble. There's a lot more experiences to be had. There's a lot of growing to be had. This isn't it, I remember in high school, just everything felt like the end of the world. Everything felt like this is, the most important people I'm ever going to know. And looking back now, I don't talk to too many people from my high school anymore. And I've 180'd from the person that I was when I was 17. And just tell them that the world is big.
Incredibly smart, because a lot of people that are in high school right now, I remember going to high school and I thought that once I graduated that my whole life would just lay out for me and everything would be easy. And it's the exact opposite. And you have to have the courage and the faith to know that whatever you put your mind to, you're going to succeed at it. Mm-hmm. And some people don't have that, and they go the opposite direction where they get depressed and they go internal. They live with their parents forever, and it's a lot harder for them to like grow. And I think that if you learn that in a younger age, once you graduate, you're going to be set for life because you have that confidence in yourself. But the people that don't have the confidence in themselves, how would you say somebody comes to you for like a fitness class and you can tell that they're very insecure about their weight? What would you do to help them besides just letting them work out and look better? Mm-hmm. Like, how can they change mentally? Because if you don't change mentally, you're not going to change physically.
To me, I think changing mentally is setting goals that are achievable. I think a lot of times people get so beat up on themselves because they couldn't stick to some crazy diet that they set themselves up for. Like, they're cutting out all carbs, all sugars, all these things, and then they fail because they set unrealistic expectations for themselves. And I think the best way to be confident and be able to actually see change is to set goals that are reachable. Like, set little goals along the way. You have a big goal, you want to lose 100 pounds or something, but you can't focus on that. You got to focus on like, okay, this week I'm not gonna eat out. I'm gonna cook all my meals at home. Doesn't matter what their calories are, anything. I'm just gonna eat them at home. You start small, and then you get consistent. Because anything in my fitness journey that I've accomplished, it's all due to consistency. I'm just crazy consistent with what I do, and I'm not like super like disciplined all the time. I do the same things always, and it just works. And so that was kind of a long-winded answer.
No, that's great.
Long-winded answer is setting achievable goals.
Sustainable goals that you know that you can reach, and then just kind of increase them one step by step. As you complete one goal, maybe add another goal on top of that. Mm-hmm. I like that. I'm going to start doing that in my own life.
Yeah, that's not just like fitness related. That's everything, because I've had to do that with my job. Like, I was so overwhelmed starting this new job, and I had to each week just be proud of myself for something. Like, okay, you did this. Like, you learned this. You're not messing this up anymore. Like, go you.
But you have a different personality. I feel like if you set your mind to something, you're going to do it. Just talking to you like this past 45 minutes, I feel like you have that passion in your eye that you know you're going to succeed at something.
I'm passionate. I'm definitely a passionate
Yes.
person. Definitely a passionate person.
What's your zodiac sign? Sorry.
It's a blessing and a curse. I'm a Gemini.
Really? Mm-hmm. Wild.
Is that wild?
Yeah.
I don't know much about zodiac stuff.
Me neither.
Tell me about it. You know?
Geminis they call them the twins of the zodiac. You guys have
like a split personality.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you notice that in your own life?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
In what way?
Well, I don't know how to articulate it exactly, but I don't know.
I don't know. No, it's actually kind of fun. Geminis are awesome. They have a whole song about it by that one guy that's attractive, apparently. I don't know. Okay. Yeah.
Totally know that.
G-Eazy.
Oh, really?
It's called Gemini.
Oh, yeah, he's a Gemini.
Yeah. So you guys are both very ambitious.
Yeah, I'm basically like G-Eazy.
Okay, this is the last question, I promise. But if you could build any business that you wanted to, and you had all the money in the world to do it, what would you want to start?
Ooh, any business?
Yeah, like what are you most passionate about besides like bodybuilding? Like what's something that you think about every day that you would want to get big?
Well, right now, I feel like I get really attached to certain things. I'm really attached to golf right now. So I think it'd be really cool to have my own golf course.
That's actually awesome. No, that would be awesome.
That'd be so cool. Because then you could build businesses off of that even more so. Because I'm really invested in like the YouTubers of the golf scene right now, and like having like collabs and people come out to your course and like having special things with your I don't know, it'd be cool to have
that would honestly be awesome. I'm just laughing because I know nothing about golf.
I'll take you golfing.
Yes, let's go to the Top Golf. That's the only place I've actually been is Top Golf.
You never mini golfing?
Is that golfing?
I don't know.
But yeah, I've done that too.
I'm pretty competitive with mini golf, so I call it golf. Yeah, it's golf.
Where do you go? Is there anything around here?
Mulligan's.
Mulligan's. Isn't that like a bar?
Might be also a bar, but Mulligan's is off 106.
Oh, cool. I'll have to go check it out.
Good mini golf there.
Bet you I could beat you. But anyway, this has been a lot of fun. Do you have anything else you'd like to say to anybody out there listening?
No, thanks so much for having me on. I could talk your ear off for hours.
I actually appreciate it. We have talked for about an hour, I think.
Really? Time flies when you're having fun. So. Oh,
good. It didn't go up there. Anyway, let me see your bicep real quick before we leave.
Like a flex?
Mm-hmm.
I go flex. This is a better bicep.
Guys, look at this.
I don't know which camera we're looking at.
It is amazing. She's literally aesthetically all there.
Aesthetically all there.
No, that's awesome. I I appreciate your like inspirational advice as well. And I think you're gonna go far in life. If you want like $500 deposit on the golf course, I got you.
500 will get me pretty far with a golf course, I'm sure.
We'll work on it. Anyway, it was nice to talk to you, and we will see you guys next time on episode number 10 with the Davison Boys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. I just do a little peace sign at the very end. There we go.